The realm. Do you know what the realm is? It's the 1,000 blades of Aegon's enemies. A story we agree to tell each other over and over till we forget that it's a lie.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back for another Game of Thrones Season 8 breakdown video. Today I want to take a look at some of the new images from the second episode. I don't know how many of you saw these, but HBO did release some new photos taken from the next episode, and some of these are from scenes that we did not see in any other trailers. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of them, then try to figure out what else could happen in the next episode. The very first image I want to look at is Bran Stark out near the Weirwood tree in the Godswood. I think there is a lot to be taken away from this photo because of what Bran Stark still needs to do before the Night King's army arrives for the battle. As of right now, we have still not seen Jon, Dany, Bran, Sam, or anyone else come up with a strategy for the battle against the Night King. Like I said in other videos, Samwell Tarly needs to find some new information in those books he took from the Citadel. There is a reason why they were mentioned in the first episode when Dany and Jorah went to talk to Sam. Also, we need to see Bran Stark go inside of the Weirwood net to find some answers. Now that we see Bran Stark out here by the Weirwood tree, I think that's exactly what he's doing. I did notice that some of you said maybe Bran Stark already knows what to do. Maybe he has already seen some of the answers, but I don't agree with that. These will be some of the biggest revelations remaining in the series. There is no way that happens off screen. I think either Sam will find something in the books, then tell Bran where to look, or Bran will find something on his own, or maybe a little bit of both. You have to remember what Uncle Benjen told Bran the last time they spoke.
One way or another, he will find his way to the world of men. When he does, you will be there waiting for him. And you will be ready.
He told Bran the Night King would be coming, and when he does, Bran will be waiting for him, and he would be ready. Well, we already know Bran is literally waiting for the Night King. He sat out there in that courtyard for the entire first episode, although he was waiting on Jaime. Now it's time for Bran Stark to get to work. The Night King will be arriving by the end of this episode. That means they need to find some answers before the episode ends. I think we see them strategizing in some of the other new photos. In this photo, we can see Jon Snow and Samwell Tarly together. It looks like Jon Snow is looking down at a table. Since we can see Samwell Tarly standing right next to Jon, looking at him almost as if he's waiting for his reaction, this could be when Sam shows Jon something in one of the books from the Citadel. Maybe Sam has found something he thinks can help Jon during the battle. Remember, this is one of the main reasons why Sam went to the Citadel in the first place.
I said that because I want you and little Sam to be safe. That's all I want. To become a maester so I can help Jon when the time comes, so you'll be safe.
He wanted to go to try to find some answers, that way he could help Jon when the time came for them to fight the Night King. Like I said in my last video, we could see that Samwell Tarly was already looking in those books when Dany came to talk to him. I imagine Sam will find something in the next episode right before the battle starts. When Sam first gets to the Citadel, we can see him looking inside of the restricted area of the Citadel. In one of those books that Sam can see through the cage, it does show the phases of the moon. Maybe that book can explain why the summers and winters last for so long. George R.R. Martin did say we would find that out by the end of the story. Now, when we see Sam go into the Citadel to take the books with him to Winterfell, the very first thing he does is go inside of that restricted area. So we know Sam had to have taken some of their most interesting books. Now the question is, what can Sam find in the books? And what can Bran see inside of the Weirwood net? These are the characters that will give us the most insight into how we can defeat the Night King. I have recently started to think that maybe Bran or Sam can learn something about the Night King's symbol he keeps leaving behind. As you all know, in the first episode, the Night King left them a message. He killed Little Ned Umber, then he had him mounted to the wall, and around his body was the same symbol we have seen many different times throughout the series. It's the exact same symbol we have seen even around the Weirwood tree where the Night King was created. We know that symbol has some sort of a connection to the Children of the Forest, because that symbol was already there as they were creating the Night King. Since that symbol was located around their main Weirwood tree, I believe it has something to do with their magical abilities. Now, as we all know, Bran has already been at that location several times when he went inside of the Weirwood net. He was there when the Night King was created. Then he was there again when the Night King was waiting for Bran. Only this time, the Weirwood tree was frozen, most likely due to the Night King's creation. When we see the Night King's eyes start to turn blue, I assume it slowly took over his entire body, turning him into what we see today. Then it probably took over that entire area, freezing everything in sight. Bran Stark may have to go back to that location inside of the Weirwood net. That location might hold all the answers. If he doesn't have to go back there inside of the Weirwood net, then maybe Jon and Daenerys need to take the dragons there to burn it down, just like we saw symbolized in the first episode. If that's where he's getting all of his magical abilities from, then you might have to set fire to that location. Not only could Bran find that out when we see him by the Weirwood tree, but Samwell Tarly may also be able to find something in those books. Now remember, that one book in the restricted area had the phases of the moon, so maybe there is another book that has those symbols in it. Now there is one other X factor that we have to consider. We still need to see Melisandre come back to Westeros. Melisandre still has her own part to play in all of this as well. We did not see Melisandre in the first episode. We still haven't seen her in any of the trailers or new photos either. For some reason, they don't want to show us what Melisandre is up to. They don't even want to give us a glimpse. Since we know that the Night King will be arriving very soon, that means Melisandre will have to arrive very soon as well. Melisandre has to be there during the battle. Even if she shows up after the fighting has already started, either way, she has to be there. Remember what Melisandre said to Jon the last time they saw each other at Winterfell.
I've been ready to die for many years. If the Lord was done with me, so be it, but he's not. You've seen the Night King, Jon Snow. You know the Great War is still to come. You know the army of the dead will be upon us soon. And you know I can help you win that war.
Melisandre already knows she can help Jon win the battle. She must have seen something in the flames that she has yet to tell us. As I've said before, I think it has to be some kind of a self-sacrifice. She knows she is meant to die the next time she returns to Westeros, and she already knows that she is meant to help defeat the Night King. So I assume those two things are intertwined. Her sacrifice will lead to the defeat of the Night King. Now imagine this. Imagine if Melisandre shows up in Winterfell, and it's her that helps Bran Stark find some of the answers. We've never seen Bran and Melisandre in any scenes together. Those two characters also represent ice and fire. Bran is obviously ice, and Melisandre is obviously fire. Bran is getting his powers from the old gods, whereas Melisandre is getting hers from the Lord of Light. If those two characters could somehow combine their powers, they could unleash their own A Song of Ice and Fire right on the Night King's ass. Now think about this. I have a very crazy idea. I doubt it would ever happen, but it did cross my mind, and I will be the first person to admit it does sound crazy. In one of my recent videos, I told you that Melisandre has often talked about burning down the Weirwood trees. Now, we don't see this as much in the television show, but she does this many times in the books. Melisandre wants to have every single Weirwood tree put to the fire. She even tells this to Jon Snow. Okay, so since Melisandre said she knows she has to die, and it will most likely be some sort of sacrifice, what if Melisandre sacrifices herself to the Weirwood trees? What if they go to the same Weirwood tree that has that symbol? The same Weirwood tree where the Night King was created and where he was waiting for Bran. What if Melisandre has someone tie her to the tree, just like the Night King was tied to the tree? Then Melisandre has the fire within her burn down the tree. Since she wants everyone to burn down the trees, maybe she has to burn down the main Weirwood tree by sacrificing herself to that tree. If that happened, it would end up looking exactly like the burning symbol from the first episode. Not only would Melisandre die just like she said, but she would also help Jon defeat the Night King, just like she said. Melisandre has said time and time again she has a fire burning inside of her. Jon finds this out when he's riding the elevator with her. Maybe Melisandre needs to unleash her own fire in order to extinguish the Night King's main power source, which is the tree where he was created. Don't forget, we have seen Melisandre sacrifice other characters like that before. Think about the way Melisandre killed Shireen Baratheon. It looks like Shireen is tied around a tree, then she is caught on fire. It would make sense for Melisandre to go out in a similar fashion. Melisandre could sacrifice herself in the same way, by getting tied to a tree and having it burnt down. Only this time it would be a Weirwood tree that contains all the Night King's magic. Now I know, that might sound crazy, but for some reason I did start to visualize that in my head, so I decided I would talk about it in the video. Regardless of how it happens, we need to see Bran and Sam start to find some answers in the next episode. Now that all the hugs and kisses are out of the way, it's time for these characters to start to get to work. Now let's just say that the answers Bran and Sam find don't have anything to do with the symbols. Then I think it could have something to do with my other Melisandre theory. You know, the one where Melisandre is Nissa. Hopefully all of you have seen that video by now. I just uploaded it last week. In case you have not seen that video, I will leave the link in my description. I do happen to think that one has enough evidence to be true, but I also kinda like this crazy one I just told you about. Either way, I think Melisandre's sacrifice could be the key to stopping the Night King. Anyways, let me know what you think about those new photos of Bran in the Godswood and Jon and Sam standing over what looks to be a table. Do you think this is when Sam shows Jon something in the books? And do you think this is when Bran goes inside of the Weirwood net to find some answers? Let me know what you think down below. Thank you all very much for watching today's video. I also want to thank everyone on Patreon for supporting the channel. I really appreciate that. I hope you all have a great day. I'll see you soon. Bye.